let's get started. Good evening. Welcome to session 17 of Davos Experience in Tokyo. My name is I am a freelancer, and I've been sort of organizing this event since February last year, so it's been quite a while. First of all, how many of you, this is the first time? Oh, that's quite a few. Okay, good. How many of you were at May session? Yeah, when we talked about Blue Wind. Okay, Blue Wind by the ANA. I wanted to inform you that Blue Wind is now officially part of ANA's global strategy. So if you take, it's very, very exciting. And it's even more exciting is that I was on the flight of ANA, Kagoshima and Fukuoka this week. And for both occasions, I saw their promotion video where Kago-san as well as Kevin show up. So, and Blue Wind, for those who have never heard, that's the initiative developed by one of the participants, Global Agenda Seminar, which I run at Academy Hills. And he was one of the participants in the first year, 2010. And he developed this concept of Blue Wind. That is offering the wind for the social change makers. And because ANA is an airline, so they fly everywhere. But the social entrepreneurs or the change makers, such as Ashoka Fellows, need to fly to a lot of different places in the world. But that costs a lot of money. So Fukabori-san came up with the idea that ANA, if you want to support some of the change makers of the Ashoka Fellows, you can vote for them. And it automatically gives some miles and some money to those change makers. And that is going to be the first attempt by the airlines to do something like that. So that will raise the brand awareness of ANA and the world as well. So I thought it was a very interesting idea, and he worked on it for 4 years. And because I was involved with ANA, I went to talk to some of the top management. We changed the idea. We tried to talk to this and that, and finally, he got it made. He got it implemented. And in May session of Davos Experience in Tokyo, we asked you, the participants, to come up with some specific ideas to promote the Blue Wind, because they were having trouble getting the support of the people, because the website was not the best, to say the least. It was pretty dull, and it was not, lively. And it was just in English. So not too many people watched, and not too many people voted. But they needed to have 240,000 votes by the end of July. Otherwise, they may have died. So we tried to come up with a lot of ideas, and some of you who were here in May came up with a lot of great ideas, interesting ideas. So I wanted to make sure that you are aware that Blue Wind is now official, and it's 4 years in making, but it was one of the successful so far initiatives by the social entrepreneurs. We have some people, entrepreneurs, but we are talking about entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur trying to work on the social issues, but within the corporation. And so that was one of the examples. But anyway, today I would like to talk a little bit about the identity. And that is because, how many of you have watched World Cup? World Cup Soccer, 2014, Brazil, okay. And there, I think we usually root for our own national team. So if you're from Japan, you may be go Japan. If you're from Brazil, you may go, the people in Brazil are very crazy, so I'm pretty sure that they're very disappointed. those from the Netherlands would usually cheer up the Netherlands team and so forth. So I thought, it may be a sort of the time that people were very much aware and conscious of their nationality. And at the same time, the world is becoming borderless, and we talk about the global competition and global world. So how much does the nationality mean today? And if we are talking about our own identity, how much of that identity comes from the nationality that we are? And that was a question that I really wanted to discuss. And we often say we don't have any identity per se. And I think that was the issue that was raised by one of the members of this session. And she said, I've never thought about my own identity. So I said, well, let's figure out what constitutes our nationality. And when the globalization is advancing, how much of our identity comes from nationality? And I think that's precisely what we would like to discuss. But in order to make it a little bit specific, we posed the question, if you were to be reborn, what if kind of question? Do you want to be born Japanese? So that's the question that I would like to ask. And if you're not from Japan, you can rephrase it in either way. You can choose the Japanese, or you can choose your own nationality. If you were to be reborn, you want to have the same nationality as you do or not. I mean, this is the question that we often ask the couples. If you were to be reborn, would you like to marry the same person? And I think as the statistics say, I think a lot of husbands say yes, a lot of wives say no. So I don't know whether that's true or not, but I think that's one of the things that we often hear. So you can choose either one. You would like to be reborn Japanese or not, or any one of the nationality. So let's just start. How many of you would like to be reborn Japanese? How many of you would not? Okay, that's good. Yeah, reborn your nationality or whatever. That's good. Let's ask some of you why. Who said no? Okay, tell us why.
Because I was in Canada for 2 years, and I experienced a bit of multiculturalism in Canada, and the country's history is quite very short and young, and every nationality, any origin is, for me, it's really equal. What's in town, one culture, and one cultural asset is quite long and really dominating the country. So I think if I were in a more equal in terms of culture, I can feel different.
Okay, that's good. Excellent. Who else? Okay, what about you?
Simply, I just want to try other country.
Okay. Yeah, since you are Japanese, you might as well try something different. Who else? Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I'm not Japanese. I'm Korean Japanese. I have been naturalized in Japan several years ago. And my nationality position is very weird and unstable. And when I was a kid, it was very complicated things. I suffered from my faith, but now I prefer this position. I can have various perspectives.
Right.
So I think if I were reborn, I choose the same position. I really want to be born in Japan, but I really want to be I really want to have another nationality.
I see. Okay. Who else? Say no. I think we had more. Okay. Yes.
Well, in my case, my parents are Japanese.
Yeah.
So I was born and raised in France. So, and for me, I think nationality and identity can be two different things.
I see.
Because what makes your identity is actually your cultural background, your history, it's a mixture of different things and what you experience. So, for me, yeah, it doesn't really matter which country, it's really what you have experienced.
Okay. That's excellent. Okay. I tried the same question with a group of undergraduate students and also with the young executives very recently. And the result was very interesting. For the undergraduate students, we sort of assigned, you are a yes camp, you are a no, and try to let them have a debate. And it just so happened that the no group had more international students, rather non-Japanese students. And the yes group had quite a few Japanese students. And it turned out that the yes group really tried to come up with some good reasons to want to be more Japanese. And but the discussion leader was having a little bit of difficulty. So we had a debate, and the no side was much more lively. They came up with a lot of ideas. And so the yes group was kind of shy, reserved, and quiet. So I decided, well, whether I asked each and every one whether if you can choose, which would you choose? You were assigned to the yes group, but would you choose yes or no? And it turned out majority said no. They don't want to be Japanese, to be born Japanese. And so I thought it was very, very interesting. And later on, about 2 weeks later, I asked the young executives, Japanese executives, the same question. And it was overwhelmingly yes. And the interesting thing was, one of them said, I felt like that my national pride is challenged. 愛国心をテストされてるよ。愛国心 patriotism. Whether I was testing his patriotism. And that was not my intention at all. I just wanted to ask a very simple question. What if you could choose the nationality? And so he took it much more personally and much more sort of a serious issue. So what I would like to do is just, this is what if question. Hypothetically, if you can choose to be anybody, to be any nationality, what would you choose? That's the question that I would like to ask. So I'm not testing your patriotism, I'm not testing your national identity or anything like that. This is a simple question. And it's the same thing as, okay, if you get the phone call from the headhunter asking whether you are interested in joining Uniqlo or Fast Retailing or Rakuten to be the next CEO. Would you take the call or would you not? And a lot of people just kind of take it too seriously, too personally, and say, do I really want to be? But this is the question, it's a very light, easy question. What if that kind of thing happens? So that's the kind of spirit that I'm asking the question, okay? So don't take it too seriously. We're not trying to test anything. So just, feel free to feel anything, to choose, okay? So let me ask you once again, how many of you would say yes to be born Japanese? Okay. How many of you would say no? Okay, we have a little more no's. That was my intention. Okay. What I would like you to do is, we have several tables, and I would like, let's do this. Who said no? Who would like to take the position of no? Why don't you go to, let's see, seven tables? Why don't you go to any one of these, so that we have enough no people in each table. And then we'll add yes people. And you can have a debate in each table. You can just argue back and forth, okay? Rather than the big group, because that way everyone has a chance to say and argue either yes or no, Okay, so no people, why don't you go to, take your chair and go to the,
It's fine.
yeah. I think we have enough.
Sorry, just.
Okay, so yes, people can join any one of the group. And what I would like you to do is to discuss, debate, yes and no. And also you can expand the issue a little bit more and say what part of your identity comes from nationality. So you can ask, you can discuss that as well. Because now that the globalization is taking place, do we still stick to our nationality when we think about our own identity? And I think I'm asking that question because I have been talking to some of the people in HR department, and I think we are just about to start the new phase in HR and talent management and recruiting and hiring and taking choosing the job. And I think we really need, each one of us has to have our own self-brand, so to speak, has to have our own identity, what kind of person I am, what skills do I have, what is my identity. And because I think the labor market or talent market is opening up, I think the companies may be looking for people from all over the world, depending upon what kind of identity, what kind of self-brand each one of you has. So I think your own identity is a very important issue. It's going to be even more important. So when you think about your own identity or your self-brand, how much of that is coming from the nationality? So you can discuss that as well, okay? Okay, so you can choose any place, and let's discuss for about 45 minutes or so.